Customers in the metro are still offline, and right now power crews are out there busy working.
Thank you for waking up with us this morning. I'm Aisha Howard.
I'm Cheryl Preheim. A busy start to the week. We're going to have a live report in just a minute with more on the damage and that cleanup from the storm.
But first, let's get you out the door with meteorologist Chesley McNeil. We know we still have to watch out for some downed trees, but thankfully, we don't have another round coming on top of us right now.
That's absolutely right. Not as widespread. We do have the threat for some showers, but again, not as widespread as we saw those just yesterday. We have a few out there right now. You can see it mainly over toward the east. A couple thunderstorms now into South Carolina. That's making its way further down to the south and east. Over the metro area, not much going on. Even some of those thicker clouds starting to fade away as well. This is the only game in town right here. And we can see it down to our south and east, or over toward the east, just south of Toccoa now. That's starting to cross I-85 there and continue to push further down to the south. Everywhere else, we're on the dry side, at least for this morning. We'll hold on to a threat this morning, but it's a very low threat. We'll catch a break early afternoon, then late afternoon. Once we get into the daytime heating, we can see an isolated shower. Where you see these little white lines here, these are reports of wind damage. Very widespread throughout our area, up to the north, a lot over the metro area, and even down to the south, where we've seen some of those gusty winds associated with a few of those thunderstorms push through the area. And so, waking up this morning, please know that there are limbs and branches that are all along the trees, all along the roadways out there, and even some of the sidewalks. You're looking at temperatures in the 60s starting off this morning. We'll be rising up into, well, near 90 for an afternoon high today. Level 1 threat for severe weather this afternoon. Isolated at best. A lot of us won't see it, but I got to let you know it's out there. You got to be weather aware. Time now for a check on the roads out there. Here's Jerry Carnes.
Yes, sir. And one of our roadways blocked due to a down tree. This is in Midtown, 17th Street at West Peachtree. This tree fell earlier this morning. It took down a traffic light. It took down some power lines, and that's what's going to take a little time to restore. So this intersection is continually blocked with authorities directing you around this. We did have another tree down on Peachtree Street. That fortunately has been cleared. But another issue has arisen, and that is you wake up this morning, you're going to find traffic lights out in different areas, and that includes C.W. Grant Parkway just off of I-75 as you're trying to make your way to the international terminal of the airport. Take a look at all those brake lights there because the traffic lights are out there along C.W. Grant Parkway just off I-75. So if you're trying to make your way to the airport, just keep that in mind. A crash is off to the side, I-20 eastbound just past Hamilton Holmes Drive. Fortunately, that's not causing a whole lot of problems, but you might tap the brakes as you pass that crash. Otherwise, Big 3, all condition green at 6:02.
All right, Jerry, thank you. All right, so we have had our crews out there all night in all parts of the area checking out the aftermath from last night's storms. A lot of trees down, bringing power lines along with it. That is going to make for some troubling conditions on your morning drive. 11 Alive's Ariana Moniz kicking it off in Lithonia. Ariana, what are you seeing right now as we're starting to get a little bit of daylight?
Well, Aisha, down trees and power lines is what we're seeing this morning, like here on Rogers Lake Road, Coffee Road. This is off of Lithonia Industrial Boulevard. And this is something that we're seeing impacting a lot of people in many parts of the metro after last night's storm. And this is certainly impacting people's morning commute with this tree blocking both directions of this road. It's stretching from one side of the road to the other, also taking down a power line. Now, I also want to show you video from when our crews first arrived here on Rogers Lake Road. We know Georgia Power, they were here, but they weren't able to restore power to this area. Now, we were able to speak to a man, he lives nearby, and he described what he heard the moment this tree fell. Take a listen.
About between 9 and 10, the rain really came in really fast. Trees were going all over the place. Lights started flickering, and we heard a loud crash, and that's when the tree came down. Yeah, nobody got hurt. So far, we haven't seen anybody, any houses, with trees dropped on them. But, pine trees are pretty dangerous around here. The soil gets wet and they'll come right down.
It's a situation we're also seeing on School Road in southeast Atlanta. You can see where a tree fell on this home overnight, as well as a car that was next to this home. The good news is everyone made it out safely. And another tree down. This is on Browns Mill Road in southeast Atlanta. This tree also took down a power line, blocking off the road in both directions. Now back out here live on Rogers Lake and Coffee Road. This tree is blocking the road in both directions, stretching from one side of the road to the other. And we have seen cars come down this road pretty quickly, forced to slam on brakes once they approach this tree. Now, with the power being out in this area, it is dark. We're starting to see the sun come up a little bit, but you want to make sure that you drive safely as you go down roads, especially in wooded areas, because you stand to come across situations like this. Back to you.
All right, Ariana, and don't take any chances. Assume all of those wires are live. Thank you.